There's a silent battle happening inside your mind right now, a battle nobody sees, nobody hears, nobody talks about, but every single day it steals your peace, it steals your sleep, your happiness, your confidence, and slowly it steals your life. It begins quietly, one thought, one worry, one memory, one mistake, and then your mind grabs onto it and refuses to let go. You replay conversations. You imagine worst-case scenarios. You overanalyze people's words. You question your decisions. You think about tomorrow. You regret yesterday. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, you forget to live today. That is the danger of overthinking. It doesn't destroy you all at once. It destroys you slowly, silently, patiently, until one day you wake up exhausted. Not because life is hard, but because your mind never rests. And the saddest part is this. Most of the things you worry about never even happen, yet your mind keeps punishing you for imaginary problems. That's why today you must make a decision that can completely change your life. You must stop allowing your thoughts to control you, because peace is not found by controlling everything around you. Peace is found by controlling what happens inside you. And the moment you understand this, your life begins to change. The Stoic philosophers understood something powerful thousands of years ago. They understood that suffering does not come from life itself. It comes from the stories we create inside our minds. A person can lose money and remain peaceful. Another person can lose nothing and still feel miserable every day. Why? Because the real battlefield is never outside. It is always inside. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Think about that deeply. Most people spend their entire lives trying to control things they were never meant to control. People's opinions, the future, the past, the economy, relationships, outcomes. But the harder they try, the more anxious they become. Because life was never designed to obey your expectations. Life changes constantly. People change constantly. Circumstances change constantly. And if your peace depends on everything staying perfect, you will never know peace. That's why overthinking is so dangerous. It tricks you into believing that if you think long enough, you can control uncertainty. But you cannot think your way into certainty. You cannot overanalyze your way into peace. In fact, the more you obsess, the more confused you become. Have you noticed that? The more you think about a problem, the bigger it feels. The more attention you give fear, the stronger it becomes. That is how the mind works. What you feed grows, and what you starve weakens. If you feed anxiety every day, anxiety grows. If you feed fear every day, fear grows. If you feed negative thoughts every day, darkness grows. But if you feed calmness, awareness, acceptance, strength begins to grow. And this changes everything. Because peace is not something you find. Peace is something you practice. Every single day. Most people believe peace comes when problems disappear. But that is not true. Problems never completely disappear. Life will always test you. There will always be uncertainty, unexpected pain, unexpected change, unexpected loss. The goal is not to create a perfect life. The goal is to create a peaceful mind inside an imperfect life. That is true strength. Real strength is not loud. It is not aggressive. It is not emotional chaos. Real strength is calmness under pressure. A quiet mind during difficult moments. The ability to breathe while the world panics around you. And this ability can be learned. But first, you must understand why you overthink. Most overthinking comes from fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of losing control. Fear of being judged. Fear of making mistakes. And because of that fear, your mind constantly searches for danger. It keeps asking, what if something goes wrong? What if I fail? What if they leave? What if I embarrass myself? And suddenly your mind becomes a prison. But here's the truth nobody tells you. You cannot build a peaceful life with a fearful mind. At some point, you must stop listening to every thought you have. Because not every thought deserves your attention. This is one of the most important lessons you will ever learn. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Thoughts appear automatically, but you choose whether to believe them. A negative thought enters your mind. Fine, that is normal, but the problem begins when you sit with that thought, feed that thought, repeat that thought, until it becomes your reality. That is why awareness changes everything. The moment you notice your thoughts without immediately reacting to them, you regain control. Imagine standing beside a river. Each thought is like water flowing past you. Most people jump into the river. They drown inside every thought. But peace begins when you learn to stand on the shore and simply observe. A thought says, "You are not good enough." Observe it. Do not obey it. A thought says, "Everything will go wrong." Observe it. Do not feed it. A thought says, "You will never succeed." Observe it. Then let it pass. Because thoughts are temporary. But when you hold on to them, they become suffering. And this is exactly why silence is so powerful. Most people are terrified of silence because silence forces them to face themselves. So they distract themselves constantly. Music, social media, television, endless scrolling, constant noise, anything to avoid being alone with their mind. But the problem is this: if you cannot sit peacefully with yourself, no external success will ever satisfy you. You can have money and still feel anxious. You can have relationships and still feel empty. You can achieve your goals and still feel restless. Because peace does not come from external achievement. It comes from internal mastery. And internal mastery requires silence, stillness, awareness, reflection. This is why strong people spend time alone. Not because they hate people, but because solitude heals the mind. In silence, you begin hearing your real thoughts, not society's thoughts, not social media's opinions, your own truth. And slowly, your mind becomes clearer, calmer, lighter. But let's be honest, overthinking often becomes an addiction. Some people no longer know how to stop. The mind becomes addicted to worry, addicted to drama, addicted to emotional chaos. Because chaos feels familiar, peace feels unfamiliar. And unfamiliar things can feel uncomfortable at first. That is why healing feels strange in the beginning. When your mind finally becomes quiet, you may even feel uncomfortable because you are so used to noise. But stay with the silence. Stay with the calmness, because eventually it becomes your new home. Another reason people overthink is because they seek perfection. They want the perfect decision, the perfect timing, the perfect relationship, the perfect outcome. But perfection does not exist. And chasing perfection creates paralysis. You hesitate, delay action, doubt yourself, and spend more time thinking than living. Meanwhile, life continues moving forward. Do not wait for certainty before taking action. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes because of action. You build strength by moving forward despite uncertainty, not by waiting until fear disappears. Fear rarely disappears completely. Courage means moving anyway. And every time you act despite fear, your mind becomes stronger, little by little, step by step. This is how peace is built, not overnight, but daily, through small choices, small habits, small moments of awareness. You wake up and choose gratitude instead of negativity. You breathe instead of panicking. You let go instead of obsessing. You accept instead of resisting. And slowly, your inner world changes. One of the greatest causes of overthinking today is comparison. People constantly compare themselves to others. Their success, their relationships, their appearance, their lifestyle. And social media makes this even worse, because people compare their real life to someone else's highlight reel. But comparison destroys peace. The moment you constantly measure your life against others, you stop appreciating your own journey. Remember this: everyone is fighting battles you cannot see. Everyone has pain. Everyone has fears. Everyone feels lost sometimes. Nobody has everything figured out. Nobody. So stop punishing yourself for being human. You are allowed to grow slowly. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to start over. Life is not a race. And healing is not a competition. Another truth you must accept is this: you cannot control how others feel about you. No matter how kind you are, Some people will misunderstand you, no matter how hard you try. Some people will criticize you. No matter what you do, you will never please everyone. And trying to please everyone destroys inner peace. The Stoics understood this deeply. They focused only on what they could control: their actions, their attitude, their character, not public opinion, not praise, not validation. And this mindset creates freedom. The moment you stop needing everyone's approval, you become powerful. Because now your happiness no longer depends on strangers. Now your peace belongs to you, not the world. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning to let go. Let go of the past. Let go of regret. Let go of resentment. Let go of things you cannot change. But holding on to pain does not protect you. It poisons you. You replay old memories again and again, hoping somehow the past will change. But it never does. The past is gone. No amount of overthinking can rewrite it. So forgive yourself. Forgive others if possible. And move forward. Not because what happened was acceptable, but because your peace matters more than your pain. Sometimes the greatest act of self-respect is finally letting go. And yes, life will still hurt sometimes. You will still experience heartbreak, loss, failure, disappointment. But suffering becomes lighter when your mind stops resisting reality. Pain is part of life, but mental torture is optional. You do not need to relive pain every single day. You do not need to carry every burden forever. You deserve peace too, and peace begins with acceptance. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means understanding reality clearly. It means saying, "This happened. I cannot change it, but I can choose how I respond." That is strength, and strength is built in difficult moments. Anybody can stay calm when life is easy, but true character is revealed during chaos. When things fall apart, who do you become? Do you panic? Or do you breathe deeply and remain centered? Because calmness is a superpower. A calm mind sees clearly. A calm mind makes better decisions. A calm mind survives storms. This is why you must protect your peace at all costs. Protect it from negativity. Protect it from toxic people. Protect it from unnecessary drama. Protect it from constant noise. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Sometimes maturity means walking away silently, not because you are weak, but because your peace is more valuable than conflict. Learn to choose peace over proving a point. That single habit can save you years of suffering. And remember this: your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. If every day you say, "My life is terrible," "I am a failure," "Nothing ever works," your mind begins accepting those thoughts as truth. But if every day you practice gratitude, if you focus on growth, if you remind yourself that challenges are temporary, your mind slowly transforms. Words matter. Thoughts matter. Energy matters. Speak to yourself with patience. You are listening. The relationship you have with yourself shapes everything. If you constantly attack yourself mentally, peace becomes impossible. But when you begin treating yourself with understanding, everything changes. You become lighter, kinder, calmer. Healing is not becoming emotionless. Healing is learning how to feel emotions without being controlled by them. You can feel sadness without drowning in it. You can feel anger without becoming destructive. You can feel fear without surrendering to it. That is emotional mastery. And emotional mastery creates freedom. Imagine waking up without constant anxiety. Imagine sleeping peacefully. Imagine no longer replaying every mistake in your head. Imagine finally feeling mentally free. That life is possible, but it begins with discipline, mental discipline, daily awareness, and consistent practice. Every morning, train your mind. Spend time in silence. Breathe deeply. Reflect. Be grateful. Read wisdom. Protect your energy before the world touches it. And throughout the day, pay attention to your thoughts. Not every thought deserves belief. Not every emotion deserves reaction. Pause before reacting. Pause before assuming. Pause before panicking. Most problems become smaller when you stop feeding them emotionally. And at night, release the day. Do not carry every stress into tomorrow. Rest, recover, reset. Your mind needs peace just like your body needs sleep. Remember this deeply. Life becomes easier when your mind becomes quieter, not because problems disappear, but because you stop turning every problem into suffering. There's incredible power in simplicity. Simple breathing, simple gratitude, simple presence, simple awareness. Most people search everywhere for peace, without realizing peace begins within. Right here, right now, in this moment. Not tomorrow, not when life becomes perfect. Now, because peace is a decision, and every day you must choose it again, even during difficult times, even during uncertainty, even during pain. Choose peace, choose calmness, choose clarity, because your mind is either your greatest prison or your greatest source of freedom. The choice is yours. Years from now, you will not regret the things you could not control. You will regret the moments you lost because you were trapped inside your own mind. Do not spend your life mentally absent. Do not destroy today by worrying about tomorrow. Do not lose your peace trying to predict the future. Life is happening now. Right now. This breath. This moment. This chance to begin again. You are stronger than your fears. Stronger than your anxiety. Stronger than your thoughts. And once you truly realize that, nobody can take your peace away from you again. So, starting today, slow down, breathe deeply, let go, trust yourself, trust life, and stop fighting battles inside your head that do not deserve your energy. Because your peace is precious. Protect it, nurture it, fight for it, and never allow overthinking to destroy the beautiful life waiting for you beyond fear. If this message spoke to your heart, do not ignore it. Take one small step today toward a calmer mind. Maybe it's spending 10 minutes in silence. Maybe it's letting go of one toxic thought. Maybe it's finally forgiving yourself. Small changes create powerful transformations. And if you are ready to build mental strength, inner peace, and emotional freedom, make sure you stay connected to this journey, because your strongest self is still waiting to emerge. And remember, a peaceful mind creates a powerful life. Never forget that. Thank you for watching.